Hey everyone, it's Guy here, Win-Win Solutions. The channel is dedicated to finding solutions for your everyday problem. This is a election series videos. We typically don't do this. What we do is find solutions video for your everyday problem. But since we're in elections, we're gonna talk about the election. Um, so we're gonna have an election video series, and this is one of them. And this is the video follow up to the one that I made regarding Donald Trump's going to win by landslide. On top of that, Donald Trump is going to win the popular vote. Now, some of you might have asked in comments saying, "What are my logics and my research behind that?" I'm going to look at 5 different aspects of why I think Donald Trump is not only going to President Trump is not going to win the electoral by a landslide, as well as the popular vote. So let's get to it, guys. So the first one I looked at is we live in an information age. I'm looking at Google Trends, and if you can go in, do search Google Trends, and you look at the comparison between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and across the board, red and blue, and these are the search past 30 days. I mean, you're looking at the past year. President Trump is completely dominating the Google Trends, the Google search on every category. Past 7 days. Now you're wondering why the whole year trending is almost, a double for President Trump, and all of a sudden it's here that Biden search it's more. Well, obviously that is the presidential debate, the final one, and that an indication of people want to find out what Joe Biden is really about. So that in itself, it's bad for Joe Biden because the media, mainstream media, want to hide Joe Biden. They don't want to talk about what Joe Biden policies or what he's done really is. So people actually, after the debate, people actually trying to do research on him. So look at that. He peaked at after the presidential debate. But anyway, the Google Trends indicates that Donald Trump is completely dominating the trend. A year, 30 days. I mean, it's not even close. And it's pretty much on every state. Delaware. I mean, look at this. I mean, 68 to 32. So essentially, he's 2 times that. That's the first indication. I mean, we are moving on toward information age. I mean, all these pollsters still calling people or pay people to do on a sitting down. Now, those I consider are historic. Those days are over. We're living in an information age where Google Trends, and the next thing I'm going to talk about is social media presence. And say you're electing a person that's running for student body president. You think that a person that has less popular is going to get to be the president of the school? No, you want to vote for the most popular one. So look at Twitter handle here for Joe Biden. You look at his followers. Look, Joe Biden, you got 11.5 million. Okay, that's not bad. But look at Twitter for Donald J. Trump, President Trump. 87.3 millions. So 11 to 87. I mean, that's 800% more. I mean, you're talking, okay, Google Trend, 32 to 68. That's almost double. And so anyway, back into the Twitter account. So you got Joe Biden. Let's look at Facebook. Facebook followers. 3.7 millions. Yeah, not bad for following. Until you found out Donald Trump. 32.5 million. That's almost 10 times. 10 times. So you're telling me that the guy that has more followers, it's gonna somehow down on the polls? Okay, so let's just say the poll is right, like they think they're right in 2016. Let's look at another one. Let's look at Amazon. Merchandise. Now, this is where we're living in a new age now. We're living on, social media. We're looking at merch. Just type in Trump hats. Look at this. 1,100 reviews, 1,100, 4,000 reviews. I mean, all these are over 1,000, 4,000, 3,000. Okay? Those are 4 to 3,000. Let's look at Biden. $118, 112, 158 looks like his best selling. And look, when you type in Biden hat and you even have a Trump hat here, I looked at it as like, oh, 4,000, that's not bad. But look, it's actually Trump hat. Oh, wow, okay. So you look at almost another 10 folds more. Merch, you got social media, so you got trend, first one, social media, second one, along with the merch trends. I mean, 10 times fold. All right, let's look at this guy. Let's look at his 2016 poll for independent voters. See what he has to say. He's self-proclaimed Frank Luntz, self-proclaimed GOP or Red, but this is after the presidential debate between Hillary and Trump, and this is what he said.
Middle class, and they use that term specifically. Then they were dialing them up. If they felt that this was
50 to 44.
Or about personality, they dialed them down.
In most of the polls that we've been taking overnight, Hillary Clinton was a winner, but in your group, Donald Trump was a winner. What did your group see that other people didn't do?
It was a tie. I mean, and even those polls, it's only been a 6, 8, 10-point difference. It was really close.
The CBS poll.
So you see that 2016 final debate, Donald Trump clearly won the debate. And this guy here he forcibly said that it was a tie. Even with a tie, people are leaning toward independent, he so-called independent voters. Said that indicating it was a tie. And, at that time it was I believe it was a 50 to, what was the poll for Hillary? It was 50 to 44. So the same narrative they're trying to do as mainstream media is that, Hillary got such a big lead that is virtually a tie. Clearly, Trump won on that one. Even these CBS anchor news saying that it was a tie. So let's go back in 2020. This same guy that polling so-called independent, and he's supposedly the Republican pollster, Frank Luntz.
But he did not win by a significant margin. It's not going to change any votes, which is the real question. I mean, the real question is who's going to win this.
So let's go back.
Undecided.
Who won this debate in your mind?
In the mind of the undecided, Trump won. but he did not win by a significant margin. It's not going to change any votes, which is the real question. I mean, the real question is who's going to win this election, and did the debate have an impact? And the answer is that it still looks like it's going to be Joe Biden. It still looks like.
So you got it, guys. This guy, imposter Frank Luntz, supposedly the GOP pollster. So he came out. So 2016, as you are reminded, he came out saying that it was a tie this time around, since it was over the top. I mean, 90 something plus to 10 that he has to force himself to say that Trump won this time. But again, it came back to the same narrative at 2006. Ultimately, essentially the independent voters, it doesn't really matter. In essence, it's only like a week away from election. It doesn't really matter. So that was his argument. So what I'm saying, guy, is that independent voters or what have you, Trump won. And he considered that as a tie. I mean, and now this time they're forcing Trump won so much that forced him to go from a tie of 2016 to now Trump's winning. So you can see the narrative is getting to shift toward Trump. So with that said, you can only imagine what is really happening on the actual folks that are independent voters. So that's my next rallies, popularity rallies. So look at this piece by News Junkies Cartoons.
And then we have a crowd like this. I don't know. Look, hey, you know what the cameras? Are you turning around? These guys are bad people. I swear. They never turn the cameras around, ever. Turn them around. Turn them around. They never turn. Look at them. They're just like a bunch of stiffs. Real stiffs. Why don't you turn the cameras around?
So you got crowds that are 10, 20, 30,000 versus Joe Biden, and even President Obama came out and out of retirement, couldn't pull any types of weight. So that was Biden, our motorcade. This is Trump motorcade, and only that, you got pro-Trump caravans everywhere. I mean, you got Florida caravans, and even in the heart of deep blue state, Southern California, it's coming out. You got folks from North Carolina, wherever that he's actually went for rallies. He got lots of people, and there's those that not even him. He's not even showing up. They're doing self rallies, or a parade or some sort, or motorcade or caravan of some sort. I mean, this is huge. I mean, it never happens like that. I mean, this is much bigger than 2016. It's crazy. And the last nail in the coffin, aside from the Trafalgar Group pollster that I mentioned on my previous videos, go check it out. But the more reliable and most trusted pollster, the Rasmussen report, just came out today. Actually, yesterday. As you can see, they had Joe Biden. Look at this. Several weeks ago, presidential opinion poll showed Joe Biden with double-digit lead over Donald Trump, like the supposed lead Hillary Clinton enjoyed 4 years ago. Despite prognostications for an almost certain Clinton victory, reality provided a different story ending. Will the big media be right this election cycle? Are they repeating their folly from the last election? Yes, I think they're repeating the same thing. So anyway, they came out with a pollster the most accurate polls in 2016 elections. They're saying significant narrowing from a 12-point deficit 2 weeks ago to now to 3-point lead a week ago. Now Trump is by 1. So Trump is actually leading as we speak today based on this most trusted report. I mean, that is a nail in the coffin. I don't think he never was behind, to be honest with you. Maybe after the COVID breakout, but I don't think he ever was behind. And these guys just covering their neck, in essence, so that now it's almost telling and covering their insurance policy, I suppose. So now that completely, Joe put a lid on his campaign, basically, essentially gave up. Final debate, people wanted to see if they can change their vote. So as you can see, folks, this is a landslide victory, a popular victory, and in my opinion, it would not surprise me between a 1 to 3.5% more for Trump in victory. Would not shock me if it's more, but it would be I'll stay in that range. I mean, President Trump will carry both electoral and popular vote 2020 all the way. Sorry guys, do like and subscribe to my video. If you like this channel, leave a comment below. And do comment and see what you do and don't like and what content you want me to cover. So, all right, cheers.